Okay. So this is a game between Harry Fearnley and me. So Harry Fearnley is a 1Q player, but I feel like he's slightly stronger than this if he has enough time to think. Yeah. I'm Zonglun Li, a former foreign player in China, but currently 3-down on OGS, which is probably a reflection of my current strength. So this is a very intense game, and since this is my own game, I'm going to go into a bit more technical detail, but the focus is still on directional play and the psychology and how to study with AI. Let's get started. And now white invades 3-3, and this is a very popular AI Josuke. Now black chooses the most conservative variation, but in this board position, since black got these 2 star points, and now black can start to build the central module, so it's okay. And white plays a variation of mini Chinese opening, which has already been phased out by the AI. The reason AI doesn't like this because AI would like to play this attachment straight away. So if white answers this move in a very honest way, something like this, then black got a very nice position on the outside. And as you can see, the white stones are all concentrated. But of course, white also has the option to play on the outside or play extension. So this is a more exciting variation. And this is a human-like move, so it is fine. And now black plays the attachment. So since white already got another stone, so white can to the corner. So, shoulder hit. Now I'm pretty sure AI likes this move, but the prerequisite for this is you need to work out all the follow-up moves. Even if you just come up with the second best variation, it's still going to be a disaster for black. So it's very dangerous for human players. Now white plays very aggressively here. By playing this cut, black loses a few points. So it's a minor mistake, I think. At this point, I will simply just jump out. So just keep it simple and throw the ball back to the white and ask white what it's going to do. So and it's sort of making this and this mi. So white chooses to connect underneath. And now black can play this attachment, and black is taking control of the central area. And always here, if white simply play away, it's just like we play a random move. And now black has the chance to kick and start an attack on white stone at some point. So now black plays the hane. And this is an overplay. Black probably misread here because this doesn't work. So black can't cover on this side. And for the same reason, black also can't cover on the other side. So it's pretty bad for black.
Several moves ago, I realized I'd done stupid things. So I did another stupid thing to make the first stupid thing look better. And at this stage, I did know that I couldn't succeed. I thought I just had to sacrifice something and get strong on the outside and see if I could turn all that into a big framework.
That makes sense. But the problem is black just invests too many stones in this general area. These 2 stones are also gone. So it's a huge loss. At this point, a slightly better move is probably going to be something like this. So now black gets to play on the outside. And the reason I don't like this trade is because the position of black stone on the outside is not a solid position. At some point, white can still be eyeing on this weakness in the future. White plays a shoulder hit. It seems to me the direction of this move is wrong. Once black plays this pincer, and it's trying to ask if white wants to descend or not. If white chooses to descend, black can come back and play this move. Now black has 1 more stone in this general area. So probably black is going to build some territory in the process of attacking, be more effective, I think. But probably white is just going to play away at this point. It's very hard to tell. So of course, white doesn't really answer this. Just takes the extension on the sides.
Can you explain why white doesn't go either further?
Oh yeah, because the corner territory is not big enough as compared to the general area in the center.
Why does white not maybe peep at 05 and then play on the 3rd line?
05. Black can choose to ignore this. Yeah. So now this doesn't look so good because black does have the chance to cut off white stones by playing this. So if white simply covers on this side, black can cut off white like this, and it's going to turn into a whole war fight, and probably in black's favor because black does have some helper stones nearby, so it's going to be a tough fight for white. So black plays on top and trying to surround the central territory. Now white covers here, and white got a very nice position on the side, like a 3 spacing extension. So white can live very comfortably here.
Does that mean that black should have played roughly where white has just played first?
I would suggest play this cut, this equation. Yeah, I would play this. So because yeah, this looks slightly better, I think.
What was your plan, Harry?
Here, I was getting kind of desperate, to be honest. After white played the blocking move that he played at R13, I suddenly realized that white was very strong, and I thought, well, I can't let him get away with that. So I descended at S14. Black descended not because it was a good move, didn't realize how bad it was, but I thought I've got to do something to attack the eye space, or else I don't have any attack on white at all. I was too optimistic, and when white bent round at Q14, I suddenly realized, well, I can't just defend. Now I'm trying to make it look good. So that's my plan.
I'd just say that, you know, once Q13 and Q9 are in place and your stones at 09, it's very hard to attack those white stones. I mean, they can get out into the middle. They've got very strong friends up in the top left, and they can extend to R7 down the bottom. You've got the peep at 05 to follow up. So I don't think white's weak.
Yeah, I was keep suggesting this move because you're forcing white to become much heavier.
Well, I'd play one higher than that, Q11, because if you play that way, white can play on the top at Q11 himself. So white can stabilise the position, but white's got a lot of profit, so it's difficult for black.
It seems black just keeps making some mistakes here. Let's say black plays a target from this side. The strongest move is probably cover on this side, and this is probably a trade. Something like this, and it's good for white. White has another option. Like, although white has this local tacticity, but in this board position, it's probably not so good for white because black can play these forcing moves first and then jump out.
Yeah, but R15 doesn't look very pleasant.
Yeah, I don't think this is unpleasant because black always got this forcing move with it.
Okay, I was looking at the clamp at S18, but you're right, with that Q19 move, that gets prevented.
So here, black backs off, so it is a correct choice. And maybe this is the first mistake made by white. This move is like asking too many things. First of all, this move doesn't work because white can leave anyway. White is aiming at this push, which could greatly reduce black volume in the center. And also, white is trying to swallow black stones on a larger scale. But in the hindsight, it turned out to be a problematic move. So black plays this and jump out. And now this is another mistake. White should play this. AI suggested. So if black tries to cut through, white can just simply get connected. But of course, there's some logic here, like this. But still, it's a very difficult position for black. The black's module is gone. So the shape of this move doesn't look so good, I think. So here comes the biggest move in the game, yeah, and this is just a blunder. White should have played this, and I noticed this in the first place. This is not a very hard test if I change my mind in the game. So black is probably going to answer like this, and white will cut black off. Although black got this local tesseract. So the idea is white answer on this side, black can leave, but white can push through first.
Sure.
Yeah, so, but in a very painful way. I saw this move in the game immediately, but I saw the following move, so I want to do much better. Yeah, so, but obviously I overlooked this tesseract, so this is a terrible mistake. But I still think white is winning, but from my point of view, this game is already out of control. Black is in the driving seat.
Does AI suggest that black M14 is right? Because that just seems to be 15-point Yosei. I think white shouldn't be playing in that area at all. But if white collects at L15, does AI say that M14 is good?
Human players, especially weak amateur players, like catch, so I wouldn't say that move is a mistake. Problem is, human players is not very good at handling uncertainty. So if you look around the board, white is getting very busy right now.
I thought that if those 7 black stones live, then I can attack the white stones up top right corner.
You're fixated with attacking stones.
I want to kill them.
Make them over-concentrated.
Yeah, so here 5 white stones are floating around in the center, so it's very dangerous. And also on the right board, this group of white stones are loosely connected, so it's a very dangerous situation for white. Black should keep taking advantage of this weakness. So now I'm just trying to make the game more chaotic. And now black plays this move. AI doesn't give this move a huge jump winning percentage, but still, this might be a mistake for human players.
Are you saying the AI liked that move?
It only gives you a 1-point jump in score, I think. Sometimes you need to predict what your opponent is thinking, right? So why I play this move, my idea is apparently trying to handle these stones at the same time.
Trying to catch the 3 black stones in the middle.
Yeah, not quite, but while attacking these 3 black stones, I'm trying to link these stones up to make them safer.
But I realized you were trying to do that, so I thought I'd attack his stones and make my stones stronger so that I can fight more strongly with my weak 3 stones above. So I had a counter strategy.
In my view, one should probably play in a way that you're most comfortable with. I'm pretty sure you are influenced by the AI's moves, because this honey is just a routine move for AI. So you're expecting white to answer like this, right? Now I'm just ignoring this move. So just turning this fight in the center more favorable for white. I think it's good. Although AI gives me a few point jump in decrease, plunk.
So did you get the co in the corner?
Yeah, I have decided to give up this corner. So.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
So here this is a sequence mistake. White should probably keep first. Yeah, I know black will capture the corner. Now this is the point. AI reminded me I could curl around first, because if black doesn't answer this, the group is gone. Yeah, I just overlooked this point. Maybe I got another forcing move here and then start to attack black stones in the center.
I didn't even think of that.
I didn't even think of that either. Yeah, it's like a blind spot. So when 2 players are too attached to a local fight, you just ignore what is going to happen nearby. I don't really like this move because it just helped me get rid of all those uncertainties in this general area. I managed to capture these 2 stones, and this connection problem is gone. I will simply just keep it there and trying to escape. Maybe. Yeah, I don't really know. Maybe something like this or this or this, and just leave this weakness there. Because at some point, let's say if white just play a random move, you have this forcing move, and black also has this forcing move, probably this forcing move. So you got lots of different ways of pushing white around. So now you just help me get rid of this uncertainty. So again, I should probably curl around first. So this is the point I keep missing. Now the game is getting very, very exciting. So I don't quite agree with this move, but AI agrees with your move. So I think at this point, black should play away, because black can live anyway. This forcing move.
Why does white not play 2 now at Ben 6?
Then black can capture these 2 stones. Because in my view, this territory is not big enough. Let's say white can play this first, and at some point white can throw in and cut off black, because as you can see, black has short of liberty problems.
No, I hallucinated that I had to play that way and cut you off by playing at K11, because if I didn't, then the whole group would die. Yeah, I lost center, then the game was definitely lost.
If you are worried about your group on top, maybe you can play this.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I play this forcing move to extend my liberties. And I don't really understand why you play this, because it just gives me 1 more co-threat. Yeah. But it's just a tiny mistake from there. And now I would say the game is about even, because the big dragon of white in the center is not settled yet. AI said, I'm winning. That's the difference between human and AI. AI can handle this anyway. I don't really think the dragon is weak, but the problem is, as you can see, black has some influence on the left board. So if black turns this left board into black territory, I don't think white has enough territory to win.
Yeah, but that's a big if. White can invade at the 3-3.
But that would potentially strengthen black on the outside, which could potentially weaken this group.
Ah, I see what's happened. Now black is connected with that defensive move at K11. Black's stones are all linked together.
And also there's a call here.
Yes, he isn't worried about that as an eye anymore.
Yeah, so in my view, at this point, black is catching up on territory. And white got a group that's unsettled. So it's probably more dangerous for amateur players, I mean. Here, I think that the choice of Joseki is wrong. After playing this, white got a small corner and also sente, which is very important. Now white can start and attack black stones on both sides. And also erase all black's potential on the side. So this is pretty bad. So let's go back to this 3-3 Joseki. One option is just to keep the Joseki simple, something like this. And if white plays this slide, then this is probably going to be good for black because white is squeezed to the second line.
Yeah.
But of course, white can play the strongest move and ask for this trade.
The same as the double hane.
Yeah, it's a double hane. So now the idea is if white accepts this trade, and this is going to be a game that will be decided by the end game, I think. And probably white is going to invade.
Can I just ask about that?
Yeah, this one.
That one, yeah, that's sente, b6. He would play there anyway, would he?
I'm really keen to play this move because let's say black just play a random move. White can always cut black off at some point.
So I'm wondering with the big white wall whether there isn't a better white move.
White needs to feel these liberties first.
Yeah.
But if white plays this, and I think this is more dangerous for white. And I'm just going to give a simple variation I read out in the game maybe.
Catch on top.
This time is super close. I feel like if both sides play correctly, black is going to kill white by one move. But I'm not pretty sure. Yeah. But this move just definitely makes no sense, I think. Now black is getting very busy at the moment. And this really surprised me.
I was desperate at this stage. I've got the weak group on the D line, and I have a wall. And since walls have no eyes, I had to be very careful about that as well. So I thought, I'm stronger in that area than you, so I ought to play a crosscut.
I agree, yeah. And made me think you're desperate now. And I just play some slack moves. I didn't see this peep coming.
Later,
yeah, during the game, yeah. I should have done more reading in this area. Yeah. This whole sequence of moves just based on my misjudgment. Yes. Now here comes this sharp move, and it totally freaked me out in the game. And this might be the best chance for you to take this game away.
It's all based on if I cut now at d6, hopefully I can save the cutting stone.
So I have to save this cutting stone, but I'm not pretty sure how to save the whole group by playing this. So I play this. I'm just trying to buy myself some time. Yeah. Because as you can imagine, it's already towards the end of the game, so we are both running out of time. Yeah. Here's the psychological part. When you see your opponent playing this type of move, and apparently it's going to lose a few points, so you should have already realized your opponent is panicking.
I knew I was panicking.
In my view, you should just keep pressuring your opponents when you realize your opponent is panicking. Yeah, that's the psychological part. And in my view, psychological part is more important than the technical part.
The AI like this one.
When I saw you play this move, I just take a deep breath, yeah, and I got the feel I'm going to win this game. Yeah. So this might be unnecessary. As far as the end game is concerned, this is slightly better. But when it comes to ice space, this move is better because there's a throw in. Yeah. But at this point, the game is still very close. This might be the losing move. In my view, you should probably play this. I think in this way you get more territory as compared to your game sequence. So the problem with your game sequence is after white playing this, your potential in this area is almost reduced to nothing. And also by playing this clamp, it looks very sharp, but the problem is this wedge will reduce all your territory. Yeah, because let's just give an example maybe. Let's say at some point, white plays this. Black needs to connect, and connect. So you're not gaining territory here. Here, that's a final life and death issue. So I'm not worried about this. Even if there's a strategy to remove my ice space, white can come back and play this or this. Yeah. So after this, I think white is winning by at least 5 points. Shall we just leave it there?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, game over. All right. Well, many thanks, Simon.